Chosen one, let me ask you, have you ever sat at a desk, clocked in, and felt like your spirit was suffocating? Have you wondered why ordinary jobs feel draining, even though they seem to satisfy everyone else around you? Why do others appear content in routine while you sit restless, unfulfilled, and questioning your very place? If that resonates, then this word is for you. And if you are not chosen, this will not make sense. So you might as well stop watching now. This message is a prophetic word, reserved for those sealed and set apart by heaven. God is saying to you today, this is why you never feel comfortable in ordinary jobs, because you were never created for ordinary work. You were made for destiny. You were made for kingdom assignments. You were made to carry my purpose in the earth. Chosen one, that holy discomfort you feel is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is not rebellion. It is heaven's signal, reminding you that your spirit will never be satisfied with mediocrity, because you carry too much greatness inside of you. This word is timely. It has found you in the perfect season. And if your spirit is stirred as you hear this, I want you to comment right now, I am chosen. I was made for more. Write 777 or 111 as your declaration of faith. And before we go deeper, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell icon, and share this with other chosen ones. What you are about to hear will change how you see your entire journey. Why ordinary jobs feel wrong to the chosen ones. Chosen one, let's go deeper. Have you ever noticed how, no matter how hard you try, ordinary jobs just never seem to fit you? You can show up, you can put in the hours, you can even perform well, but deep inside, you feel restless. It feels like wearing clothes that don't belong to you. Everyone else around you seems comfortable, but for you, it is a daily battle to stay motivated. Why is that? The answer is simple. Because you are chosen. Chosen ones are wired differently. Ordinary jobs feel wrong to you because your spirit was not designed for routine labor alone. It was designed for divine purpose. You were not put here to simply survive, collect a paycheck, and repeat the cycle. No, you were created to carry out heaven's assignment on earth. This is why your soul feels out of place when you're locked into something that doesn't align with your destiny. It's not that work itself is wrong. God honors diligence, responsibility, and excellence. But for the chosen one, ordinary jobs are never the destination. They are only the training ground. You were born with a prophetic destiny inside of you. That destiny will never be fulfilled in environments that limit your light or suppress your gifts. And so God allows that discomfort to stay alive in you, not to frustrate you, but to remind you that you were made for more. This is why no matter how good the salary looks, something still feels missing. This is why even when you achieve what others would celebrate, you still feel an inner emptiness, because the chosen cannot find fulfillment in what is temporary. Your spirit will only find peace when it is aligned with eternal purpose. Think about it. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's palace, given the best training, surrounded by luxury. Yet he was restless. He could not sit comfortably in that role because his destiny was tied to delivering Israel. David could not stay content in the fields. Though he was faithful there, his spirit longed for more because he was destined for kingship. Even the disciples, ordinary fishermen, could not remain in their boats once Jesus called them. Their spirits knew they were created for greater assignments. Chosen one, your restlessness is not rebellion. It is revelation. It is heaven's way of telling you you cannot settle here. You were not made to die in this. That is why ordinary jobs will always feel temporary to you. They are stations, not destinations. They are preparation rooms, not final callings. Another reason ordinary jobs feel wrong to you is because your gifts are prophetic. You were designed to carry solutions, to influence, to inspire, to lead. When those gifts are buried in environments that do not value them, you will naturally feel suffocated. It's like putting an eagle in a cage. No matter how safe the cage is, the eagle was created to soar, and until it spreads its wings, it will always feel trapped. And let's be real, chosen ones also feel a holy dissatisfaction. God will not allow you to get too comfortable in places that are beneath your assignment. Others may find joy in routine, but you will always feel the nudge of destiny pushing you to more. That push is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Without it, you might settle. Without it, you might give up on your greater calling. Chosen one, never confuse this holy discomfort with laziness or ingratitude. People may judge you because you cannot settle where they have settled. They may call you unstable, restless, or ungrateful. But what they do not understand is that your spirit is aligned with a higher frequency. Ordinary jobs cannot quench the fire God has placed inside of you. This is why you must never despise the discomfort. That inner tension is a gift. It is proof that you are marked, that you are sealed, that heaven has more for you. If you ever found yourself too comfortable in ordinary places, you would risk missing your calling. But because you cannot settle, You will keep seeking, keep pressing, and eventually you will walk into the destiny that God has prepared. So, chosen one, the next time you feel drained by ordinary work, remember this. It is not because you are broken. It is because you are chosen. Your spirit will never rest in mediocrity. It will only thrive in purpose. That is why ordinary jobs feel wrong to you, because your destiny is extraordinary, the spiritual identity of the chosen ones. Chosen one, to truly understand why ordinary jobs will never satisfy you, you must first understand your identity. Who you are in the spirit determines why you cannot settle in the natural. The discomfort you feel in ordinary places is not random. It is connected to your identity as one who has been set apart, sealed, and marked for destiny. From the moment you entered this world, you were different. Maybe you didn't fit in as a child. Maybe you never felt fully comfortable with the crowds. Maybe you always sensed that you were walking to a rhythm others could not hear. That is because you are chosen. Your life carries a heavenly seal that sets you apart from the rest. The spiritual identity of the chosen ones is rooted in their divine calling. While others are born to simply live, work, and die, the chosen are born to fulfill an assignment. Your existence is not an accident. It is intentional. You carry a prophetic destiny planted in you before you were even formed. Heaven has written your story long before you took your first breath. This is why ordinary jobs feel like chains to you. Your spirit knows that you were not created for routine survival. You were created for kingdom impact. You cannot silence that inner pull because it is tied to who you are. Others may be content with just enough, but you cannot. You were designed for overflow, for influence, for transformation. Chosen one, your identity is also marked by restlessness. That holy restlessness is not something you can control because it is not natural. It is spiritual. It is the Spirit of God within you reminding you constantly you were made for more. You cannot stay here. That's why even when you succeed in ordinary work, you still feel unfulfilled. Your identity is not tied to job titles. It is tied to destiny. The chosen ones also carry unusual sensitivity. You feel things deeply. You notice spiritual atmospheres others ignore. You cannot sit comfortably in environments that suppress your spirit because your identity as chosen makes you alert to what aligns with heaven and what does not. This is why ordinary jobs, which often drain rather than inspire, feel unbearable to you. Consider Moses. His identity was never as an Egyptian prince. Though he grew up in Pharaoh's palace, deep down he knew he was called to something greater. That identity drove him out of comfort and into his true assignment as a deliverer. Consider Jeremiah. He said he could not remain silent because the word of God was like fire shut up in his bones. His identity demanded expression. And think of Jesus. Though he worked as a carpenter, his true identity as Savior made him step into his divine calling at the appointed time. Chosen one, your spiritual identity is the reason you will always feel different. You are not rebellious. You are set apart. You are not lazy. You are being prepared. You are not unstable. You are being positioned. The discomfort you feel in ordinary jobs is simply your true identity, pushing against environments that cannot contain you. Another part of your identity is destiny carrier. The chosen ones are not only marked for themselves, but for others. Your assignment is tied to lives, families, and even nations. This is why you cannot remain small, because your rise is connected to the freedom and awakening of many. Ordinary jobs cannot hold the weight of your assignment because your influence must go further than a paycheck. Chosen one, you must embrace your identity. Stop comparing yourself to those who are content in places where you feel restless. Stop condemning yourself for not fitting in. You were never meant to. You were designed to stand out, to rise higher, to carry heaven's mandate. Your identity is not ordinary. It is extraordinary. And let me say this, the very things that made you feel different, isolated, or misunderstood are the very marks of your chosenness. You are not supposed to blend in. You are supposed to shine. You are not supposed to adapt to mediocrity. You are supposed to disrupt it. That is why God wired you the way he did. That is why you can never feel at home in ordinary jobs. Your spiritual identity is calling you to higher ground. So chosen one, the next time you feel restless, remember this. It is not failure. It is identity. The uneasiness you carry is simply heaven pulling you into alignment with who you truly are. You are chosen, you are sealed, you are set apart, and your identity ensures that you will never be comfortable until you are walking in your true divine calling. The training ground. Why God still places you in those jobs. Chosen one, now that you understand your identity, let's deal with the question you've wrestled with. If I'm chosen, why does God still place me in jobs that feel so ordinary, so limiting, so uncomfortable? The answer is simple, yet profound. Because ordinary jobs are not your destiny, but they are your training ground. God never wastes a season. Even when you are sitting in positions that feel beneath your calling, heaven is at work. Those jobs you hate, those roles that drain you, those assignments that feel too small, they are classrooms where God is teaching you skills, endurance, and wisdom that you will need when you step into your true calling. Think about David. He was anointed as king while still a shepherd boy. Did he immediately sit on the throne? No. God left him in the fields. Why? Because the fields were the training ground. It was there he learned responsibility, courage, and faith. It was there he fought lions and bears, preparing him for Goliath. Without the training ground, David would not have been ready for the palace. Joseph also endured his training in ordinary places, sold into slavery, working in Potiphar's house, managing a prison. On the surface, these looked like humiliating detours, but in reality, they were preparation. In those roles, Joseph learned administration, leadership, and stewardship. When Pharaoh finally elevated him, Joseph already had the skills to govern a nation. Chosen one, your training ground may look like a job you despise, but do not miss its purpose. God is not punishing you. He is preparing you. The very discomfort you feel is sharpening your spirit. The patience you are forced to develop, the humility you are forced to practice, the responsibility you are forced to carry, these are not wasted. They are deposits into your future assignment. God uses ordinary jobs to test character. Can you remain faithful when no one is watching? Can you serve with excellence when the role feels beneath you? Can you stay disciplined even when your heart longs for more? These tests are not about the job. They are about your readiness for greater. The training ground also teaches you to value people. Sometimes God places you under difficult bosses or in frustrating environments to train your empathy, patience, and grace. If you cannot handle unfairness in a small place, how will you handle influence in a greater place? If you cannot love difficult people in ordinary environments, how will you love the multitudes when God elevates you? Chosen one, the training ground also humbles you. If God lifted you before you were ready, pride could destroy you. Ordinary jobs keep you grounded, reminding you that elevation is not about ego. It is about service. Every moment of discomfort is shaping your humility so that when God finally makes you visible, you will not forget where you came from. The training ground is also where you sharpen your gifts. Think of Moses. Though he felt misplaced in the desert, God was preparing him to lead Israel through wilderness terrain. Think of Nehemiah. Though he served as a cupbearer, that role gave him access to the king and trained him in responsibility. Think of Paul. Though he worked as a tent maker, it taught him diligence and discipline that carried into his ministry. Ordinary work often polishes extraordinary gifts. Chosen one, stop despising your current job. It may not be your destiny, but it is your classroom. What you are learning there will not be wasted. God will use it all. One day, when you are walking in your calling, you will look back and realize that even the most frustrating seasons were preparation for the greatness you now carry. Remember this. No training ground lasts forever. David left the fields, Joseph left the prison, Esther left obscurity. At the appointed time, God always calls his chosen out of ordinary places into extraordinary destiny. But until then, embrace the training, pass the tests, learn the lessons. Because the quicker you submit to the process, the quicker you will step into the promise. Chosen one, hear me clearly. The reason you never feel comfortable in ordinary jobs is because they were never your destination. But do not despise them. They are the stepping stones to your true assignment. Honor your training ground, for it is preparing you to carry the weight of your calling. Signs that you are out of alignment with ordinary work. Chosen one, there are times when you try to convince yourself that an ordinary job will be enough. You show up, you work hard, you earn your paycheck, and you tell yourself, this is what life is supposed to be. Yet deep inside, your spirit groans. That groaning is not rebellion, laziness, or ungratefulness. It is the sound of destiny speaking. It is the cry of your spirit reminding you that you are out of alignment with heaven's plan. And if you pay close attention, there are clear signs that reveal when you are walking in something too small for your calling. The first sign is a persistent emptiness inside you. You can accomplish tasks, meet goals, or even receive praise from your boss, yet nothing touches the void in your heart. Others are satisfied with recognition or a paycheck, but for you, the satisfaction evaporates quickly. That emptiness is heaven whispering, this is not your destination. You were not made to live for survival alone. The second sign is spiritual suffocation. You may feel like your gifts are buried, your light dimmed, your creativity locked away. Ordinary jobs often require routine, repetition, and conformity. For chosen ones, this environment feels suffocating because your spirit was designed to create, innovate, and break boundaries. When you are in the wrong space, your soul feels like it is shrinking. A third sign is constant frustration without clear reason. You may blame the tasks, the boss, or the hours, but deep down, you know the frustration is spiritual. Your soul is resisting the chains of mediocrity. Even when circumstances improve, the inner irritation remains. That is not coincidence, it is revelation. The Holy Spirit is showing you, you are out of place. The fourth sign is recurring daydreams of something greater. While others are satisfied with their routines, you keep envisioning a bigger future. At your desk, you imagine platforms. On your commute, you dream of assignments that impact lives. Even in conversations, you hear destiny calling louder than the chatter around you. This is not wishful thinking. It is prophetic imagination. God is allowing glimpses of your true purpose to stir your faith so that you will not settle. Another sign is exhaustion that goes beyond physical tiredness. All work takes effort, but when you are aligned with your calling, work energizes you. You may be tired in body, but alive in spirit. Yet in ordinary jobs, even small tasks feel heavy. The weight of misalignment drains your joy and leaves you depleted in ways rest cannot fix. The sixth sign is your gifts remain unused or unrecognized. You know there is more in you than what your job demands. Perhaps you carry wisdom, creativity, leadership, or compassion, but those qualities are ignored or undervalued. Chosen ones feel trapped when their gifts are buried because those gifts were never meant to be hidden. They were meant to shine for God's glory. Another sign is divine discontent that keeps rising in you. Even in moments when everything looks fine on the outside, something inside you says, this is not it. That discontent is not a flaw. It is God's way of keeping you from settling in less than what He prepared. Without it, you might adapt to mediocrity. With it, you are constantly reminded that destiny is pulling you higher. Chosen one, another powerful sign is closed doors and blocked promotions. You try to climb the ladder, but every time you reach for the next level, the opportunity slips away. Others advance, but you remain stuck. This is not always because of injustice. It may be God's way of saying, stop trying to build in a place I never called you to stay. He blocks certain doors so that you do not waste years in the wrong building. The ninth sign is you keep hearing God's call, even in the workplace. While typing, while serving, while sitting in meetings, you sense His voice. You are made for more. It interrupts your thoughts, lingers in your spirit, and refuses to let you rest. That constant tug is not imagination. It is the Spirit reminding you of your true assignment. And finally, the clearest sign, you cannot silence the hunger for greater purpose. No matter how much you try to distract yourself, deep down you know, I was not created to live and die in this routine. That hunger will not leave because it is part of your design. It is written in your spiritual DNA. Chosen one, if you see these signs in your life, emptiness, suffocation, frustration, daydreams of more, unusual exhaustion, buried gifts, divine discontent, blocked promotions, God's persistent call and unshakable hunger, then know this, you are out of alignment with ordinary work. But this is not a condemnation, it is confirmation. It is heaven's way of saying, I created you for greater. Do not settle, do not shrink, rise and pursue your true assignment. So take heart. The reason you never felt at home in ordinary jobs is not because you are broken, lazy, or unstable. It is because you are chosen. And chosen ones will always feel out of place until they are walking in their extraordinary destiny. The prophetic restlessness of the chosen ones. Chosen one, let's speak about the restlessness you feel. That constant stirring inside you, that inability to feel satisfied in ordinary jobs, in ordinary environments, in ordinary routines. It is not an accident. It is not just your personality. It is prophetic. It is heaven's way of signaling that you were never designed to settle in mediocrity. This restlessness is holy. It is divine. It is the fire of destiny burning within you, refusing to be quenched. Other people can work ordinary jobs for decades, content with routines, but you cannot. Why? Because you are chosen. Your spirit carries a prophetic assignment, and until you walk in it, you will always feel unsettled. Moses carried this same restlessness. Though raised in Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by luxury, he could not stay silent when he saw his people in bondage. His spirit would not let him settle because his calling was greater than comfort. David also carried restlessness. Though he was faithful in the fields, he longed for more because his destiny was kingship. Even the disciples felt it. When Jesus called, they immediately left their boats. Why? Because their spirit had already been restless for greater purpose. Chosen one, your restlessness is not rebellion. It is revelation. It is the Spirit of God inside you, refusing to let you die in a place beneath your calling. It is God's way of pulling you out of what is safe into what is supernatural. This prophetic restlessness often shows up as dissatisfaction. No matter how well you perform, how much recognition you receive, or how secure the paycheck is, something still feels missing. That something is destiny. Your soul knows that you were created to carry light, to influence lives, to shift atmospheres. And until you step into that space, no earthly success will satisfy. Restlessness also manifests as constant dreaming of more. You may sit in your office, but your mind is envisioning platforms, callings, and assignments beyond your current situation. You may be working with your hands, but your spirit is imagining higher levels of influence. Those dreams are not random. They are prophetic hints of what God has already written about your life. Another form of prophetic restlessness is the inability to stay comfortable in mediocrity. While others adapt and settle, you always feel a pull to grow, to stretch, to move. This makes people misunderstand you. They may call you unstable or inconsistent. But chosen one, what they see as instability, is actually divine discontent. It is heaven keeping you from dying in small places. Sometimes this restlessness even shows up as warfare. You may face resistance, closed doors, or constant challenges in ordinary jobs. This is not punishment. It is proof. God is shaking you, refusing to let you find peace where you do not belong. He is making sure you cannot settle until you step into your divine assignment. Chosen one, your restlessness is also a sign of calling others. You carry something that is not just for you, but for people who are tied to your destiny. Your voice, your gifts, your testimony will unlock freedom for others. And until you step into that role, your spirit will not rest. But hear me, this restlessness must be stewarded. If you misinterpret it, you may grow bitter or impatient. You may think something is wrong with you. You may even be tempted to run ahead of God's timing. But if you see it correctly, you will realize this is not a curse. It is a compass. It is pointing you toward your true north. Chosen one, lean into your restlessness. Pray about it. Journal about it. Let it push you to seek God's voice. That fire inside you is meant to direct, not destroy. It is heaven's reminder that you were chosen for more. So the next time you sit in an ordinary job and feel that holy discomfort, don't condemn yourself. Don't let others shame you. Smile because you know the truth. You are chosen and your restlessness is prophecy. It is proof that God is preparing to move you out of the ordinary and into the extraordinary. The enemy's trap, keeping chosen ones stuck in ordinary jobs. Chosen one, now let us expose a strategy of the enemy. If the devil cannot destroy you, he will try to contain you. And one of the most common traps he uses is keeping chosen ones stuck in ordinary jobs, bound to environments that suffocate their calling and bury their gifts. The enemy knows he cannot erase your destiny. God's word over your life is sealed. So instead, he works to delay you, distract you, and chain you to systems that consume your time and energy, but give you nothing in return. His plan is to keep you so drained in ordinary places that you have no strength left to pursue your divine assignment. One of the traps he uses is fear of provision. He whispers, if you leave this job, how will you survive? Who will pay your bills? Who will provide for you? And so many chosen ones remain enslaved to jobs that do not align with their calling because fear convinces them that security is safer than purpose. But chosen one, hear me. God is your provider, not the paycheck. The job is just a channel, but the source is heaven. Another trap is comfort zones. The enemy knows that once you get too comfortable in routine, you will resist stepping into the unknown. He makes the ordinary feel safe, even though it drains you because he knows your spirit was designed for more. Comfort can be dangerous. It can keep you stuck in smallness while your destiny waits on the other side of obedience. A third trap is distraction. The enemy floods your days with endless tasks, deadlines, and pressures, keeping you too busy to seek God about your higher calling. You wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, and repeat.